As you know, unfortunately, I had to go to the hospital last night because I got food poisoning.
I've been waiting to tell this story for 10 years.
Miss Universe 2025 contestants were getting hospitalized for food poisoning, and no one did anything to prevent it. Hi everyone, it's Adiola. The beauty pageant, which took place in Bangkok, Thailand last year, has still been getting exposed despite the competition finale taking place in November. Miss Haiti told People magazine she was scared when contestants started to get sick. So many girls were hospitalized. Girls were dropping like flies left and right. Pageant group chats were filled with messages from contestants claiming they were suffering from debilitating flu symptoms and food poisoning. On November 10th, Miss Guyana actually shared footage from inside the hospital saying, "I definitely prefer being a doctor than being a patient." Miss Panama also posted an Instagram story saying, "Yesterday I was a little unwell due to mild food poisoning, but thank God I feel much better today." The Miss Universe organization, always attentive and responsible, recommended that I rest to ensure a full recovery, so I will not be participating in official activities today either. I want to make it very clear that everything is under control and that I've received impeccable support. I have felt extremely cared for and supported at all times. I am deeply grateful to the organization for their professionalism and kindness, and also to all of you for your messages full of love and good energy. They truly touch my soul. I am calm, grateful, and my heart is with my country, Panama. I promise that as soon as I leave, I will return with more strength, passion, and enthusiasm than ever, ready to continue giving my best in this beautiful experience. On November 11th, Miss Uruguay reposted a story from a lunch event at a restaurant in Phuket. Not too long after, she posted another story saying, "We need to be more careful about what we eat in countries so different from our own," asking her followers recommendations for Malays. Miss Estonia posted a thermometer with a high temperature on her story saying, "Halfway through the Miss Universe with food poisoning." Miss Hungary also posted on her story, "I've been feeling unwell since yesterday and unfortunately got sick, so I wasn't able to join the activities yesterday and today. I'm taking some time to rest and recover so I can come back stronger and continue this amazing journey full energy again." The next day, she was hospitalized. November 12th, the Miss Hungary page posted, "We regret to inform everyone that Miss Universe Hungary 2025 has suffered a severe case of food poisoning during the international competition and required hospital treatment. Unfortunately, she was unable to attend several scheduled events, but she is doing everything she can to make a full recovery. We remain hopeful that she will be back on her feet for the final, ready to shine on stage once again. She is in good hands. We thank Thailand for the professional and high-level care." Miss Indonesia also posted a picture of medication saying, "Just pray that I'll be completely healed by tomorrow. I got food poisoning here, but luckily my team acted quickly. I immediately canceled my event and rested while the symptoms were still early. I didn't force myself to participate, so the illness didn't get too serious. Some of my fellow sisters have been hospitalized. We're praying for the best, so everyone recovers quickly and you can watch us all next week without any queens missing." November 13th, Miss Hungary posted a video update from Bangkok Hospital Pattaya explaining that they gave her an IV, but she had an allergic reaction to the medicine.
Hi everyone. As you know, unfortunately, I had to go to the hospital last night because I got food poisoning. I was given an IV for dehydration and they were going to give me medication for my illness too. But as soon as they injected the medication, I felt myself really unwell, and it turns out that I'm allergic to that active ingredient. So they did an allergy test for me, and according to the results, I got a new medication which is suitable for me. Today I'm still in the hospital for observation and to see how my condition develops, so I hope I will be better soon.
November 14th, day 3 under medical supervision, her blood pressure nosedived and she started feeling super weak.
Hi everyone. Early this morning I wasn't feeling well because my blood pressure dropped really low and I felt myself really weak and dizzy, but I went back to sleep and fortunately it passed. Today I'm feeling myself a little bit better and I'm getting some more medication, and hopefully by tomorrow I can return to the girls at the Miss Universe camp.
On November 15th, Miss Hungary was finally discharged and luckily got to participate in the interview that day. On TikTok, the official page thanked everyone for the kind wishes and supportive messages, sharing that her interview went well. On December 15th, Miss Iceland shared that she had gotten severe food poisoning and was in the hospital when the event between Miss Mexico and Nawat went down on November 5th. Miss Haiti told People magazine that although pageant leadership did respond to some sick contestants' requests for help, aid was generally limited to chaperones advising women to either visit on-site medical personnel or check into the hospital. Staff allegedly did not take action to address some of the more preventable illnesses like food poisoning. They were just giving us these boxed lunches that were making people sick. They were not talking about, okay, everyone's getting sick, we're going to do this to change the food, or what have you. That scared me, she said. A representative from Miss Grand International told People, as the host, MGI follows strict standards for food management based on our extensive experience in pageant operations, but no other specifics on prevention were given. Because of this severe sickness, queens were missing critical parts of the competition, leaving some not knowing what to do, especially when they were resting at the hotel or in the hospital and missed rehearsals. As Miss Haiti said, "You're at a competition, every moment counts." There were some girls that were sick and they still came to all the events. Even she got sick towards the end of the competition, but said she skipped going to the hospital because "I didn't want to miss anything. I didn't want it to affect my results." This wouldn't be the first time Nawat and the MGI officials dropped the ball when it came to properly feeding their queens. During my first video in this series, I talked about how Rachel Gupta, Miss Grand India and former Miss Grand International 2024, had to order her own food from outside restaurants and had trouble meeting her vegetarian needs. She would bite into food on TikTok Live, not knowing whether it was safe to eat or not.
This doesn't taste vegetarian. I'm scared. Is this chicken? Or mushroom? Cut it open. I'm scared. Okay, I believe you. I trust you guys.
After the scandal between Nawat and Miss Mexico Fatima went viral, Miss Grand New Zealand 2015 came forward to share her own pageantry experience.
I have been waiting to tell this story for 10 years.
Competing in Miss Grand International 2015 at age 25, Miss New Zealand explained that her and a few other women were vegan and vegetarian at the time. Despite knowing this, Nawat refused to accommodate their nutrition needs, leaving them to struggle when it came to eating.
My personal gripe was with Mr. Nawat because at the time, myself and probably 4 other girls were vegan vegetarian, and it was very hard for us to eat while we were at our pageant. It was a struggle with the amount of non-vegetarian food that was provided to us, which I totally understand. We're in Thailand, we're in a different place where meat is seen, it's just different, you know, and vegetarianism and veganism wasn't very popular at the time either. I knew going into it that it would be a little bit hard. There might be some things that I would have to sacrifice. For instance, 3 weeks in, I was absolutely starving. I decided to eat some egg foo young, so that's rice with egg all through it, and that goes against my veganism, my values, but it was like survival at that point.
Because she didn't have access to much food she could eat, she was practically on a starvation diet. This led to her losing weight rapidly. During those few weeks of the competition, she lost around 5 kilograms, which is about 11 pounds. Nawat and MGI Vice President Teresa treated her like she was a nuisance.
I know for myself and a few of the other girls, we really struggled with food. So I lost weight drastically. I lost at least 5 kgs while I was on my pageant tour. I can fault Mr. Nawat and how he dealt with me personally. There was like a prejudice against the girls who were eating vegetarian or eating veganism, that we were like a hassle, that we were just annoying. And that was felt through our final interviews. In my final interview by his assistant Teresa, I was asked, like, did you find any food? In a really sarcastic way.
The week of the pageant finale, Miss New Zealand's parents flew into Bangkok, and she decided she actually wanted to leave as she was feeling sick and didn't have the physical energy to go on anymore. When Nawat found out that her parents had arrived and she was dropping out, he suddenly offered her as much vegan food as she wanted and pleaded for her to keep things quiet if she was still leaving in order to avoid negative press.
My parents flew into Thailand the week of the final and I had decided I wanted to go home. I had lost so much weight. I was increasingly more and more sick. My stamina was really bad. And the most disappointing thing was that when my parents turned up, all of a sudden it became a very serious issue to Mr. Nawat. He did not want people knowing that I had left the competition. He came directly to my hotel room, and his arrival to my hotel room came when my parents arrived, and he realized how serious it was, and how if people got wind of the fact that I had left, there would be like articles about it and possible mentions of how like I didn't have enough food. So then his whole demeanor changed. It changed from I was a nuisance to please, please, please don't tell anyone that you're leaving. Make sure you go out the back, like if you decide to leave, like the pageant, the country, you do it in a non-conspicuous way. And also the offer of food, of vegetarian or vegan food, as much as I wanted, was then an option. So when I said I want to leave, I don't want to be here for final night, I can't do this, I don't have the stamina, I'm really sick, this is not an environment where I can thrive, the offer of we will serve you more food, we will bring you whatever you want, was all of a sudden an option. So
clearly, Nawat has been mistreating pageant contestants without consequence for a very long time. For years, he has tried to silence women who have spoken out against him in order to maintain a clean public image. But the reality is, you can only wear a mask for so long before it begins to slip. As more and more comes out about the Miss Universe organizers, the truth is slowly coming to light, and I'll be keeping you updated. So make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Also leave your thoughts below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.